And we're definitely going to be touching on all different subjects here, right?
Yeah.
Before we do that, tell me about growing up life. Like, what part of the city do you represent as far as the six?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't necessarily rep a hood, but I grew up in Jane and Falstaff.
Okay.
You know, growing up as a kid, I grew up in Jane and Falstaff. I lived in the middle building. There was 3 buildings. I grew up on the 2nd floor in Jane and Falstaff. I went to school at up on Jane and Eglinton up there, called Roseland Public School as a kid. I went there as a kid. Growing up, it was a rough neighborhood that time, you know, and there was just a lot of gang violence and stuff like that going on. So I was really my mom was really reserved with me and my sister. We were always indoor. I never had the luxury of riding a bike outside, going to the park. We were always indoor, not even trick-or-treating, nothing.
Right.
We're just always indoor. The only time I was able to step out and have fun is if I'm going to go visit my cousins or something, or stay at my uncle's house somewhere in a better area in Toronto, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I grew up. And then right before high school, I moved to Mississauga.
Okay.
And then I went to high school in Mississauga.
Dope. Give me a fond memory from back in those times.
From when I was a kid?
Yeah.
I remember I begged my mom for a bike. She got me a bike. I wasn't allowed to ride it outside, so I had to ride it in the hallway. So I was riding my bike up and down every day. I'd be like, oh, can I ride my bike? Okay, I'll go in the hallway, ride it up and down. Yeah. And, you know, one day I was so smart that I decided to go in the hallway with my socks on. And, you know, these are hood buildings. I'm running up, kids are running up. I put my socks on, I got on my bike, and I started riding it. Then I get off my bike, and I remember I was going to chase my sister down the hallway. As soon as I get up, boom, I step in a big chunk of glass in the hallway. There was a broken beer bottle in the hallway. And I stepped it. I started screaming. So loud. My mom ran out. She had to pick me up, then carry me back into the bedroom. And then she pulled out the big chunk of glass out of my foot. Oh my God. It was I will never forget that. She pulled out the glass. And then after that, she was like, oh, all your privileges in the hallway are over. You guys are not allowed to play in the hallway anymore. Wow. And that was for months until she was like, okay, you guys can go back.
Yeah.
But it took a long time for my foot to heal. And it was just, I lost all my privileges.
Wow.
It sucked.
And you were growing up in that Falstaff area, right?
Yeah.
As you started getting older, because as you mentioned before, that's a crazy area.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of different things going on and stuff like that. Were you getting into a lot of stuff out there, or you were able to get away from that stuff?
I was so reserved. My mom wouldn't let us do nothing. You know, I wasn't able to do nothing. I was just always indoor. Only when I go to school or go to my friend's house if I'm allowed to. And that was that. I seen everything that went around in the whole area. There was shootings, killings, all this stuff going on, drug dealing. My mom just was scared that her 2 daughters, because I have 1 sister, would fall into that. So as soon as she could, she moved us out of that area right before high school. And then I went to high school in Mississauga.
Okay.